Alright, so another week of action has gone by in the AAF, and now we're led to week 4. Today I'm going to be going over my AAF week 4 game predictions. We're going to be going over all 4 games this week in this video, and who I think are going to win each of these games. Starting off with the San Diego Fleet at the Memphis Express. Fleet are 2-1 right now, the Express are 0-3. They've kind of struggled. The ASC ranking, or my ranking for each of these teams, is 3rd for the Fleet and 7th for the Express. The Fleet really jumped up after last week in their impressive win. This is going to be on Saturday, March 2nd, so this is going to be the first game in Week 4. And I do believe that the Fleet are going to win this game 17-12. I can't see the Express winning it. I mean, I think they're going to put up a pretty good fight since they're at home. We've seen a lot of home teams in the AAF be able to pull off some upsets already so far. So I would not be surprised to see the Express win. But I do think, though, the Fleet, they've played really well the last couple of games, and I do believe that they end up coming up on top in this game. This second game is the Apollos and the Stallions. This is what I think is going to be the game of the week. This is going to be a great game, I think. The Apollos are 3-0, and meanwhile the Stallions are 1-2. And so kind of surprising because they played really well last week. But the Stallions, of course, they lost their first 2 games. I definitely do think that the Stallions are equivalent to a 2-1 team though right now. This team is really... They actually played pretty well considering they lost their first 2 games. But the thing is that they've had a very difficult schedule. Their first home game was actually just last week. But anyway, I've got the Apollos ranked 1st and the Stallions ranked 4th. The interesting thing about this is it is in Salt Lake. It is not in Orlando. And of course, we've seen so far home field advantage has been very impactful to each one of these teams. I think the Stallions actually win this one. They upset the Apollos 32-26. Stallions will go on to 2-2, and they would have won 2 straight. But yeah, definitely the Apollos, though, being the best team in the league right now, I do believe that they're going to put up a pretty good fight, so it should be a fun one to watch for sure. In our third game, this is the first one on Sunday, we got the Commanders and the Iron. This is also going to be a pretty good game, I think. I mean, the Commanders, they started off 1-0, and they were looking like a really good team. Then they lost their last 2. And they had a couple, or they had one really ugly loss in there, but then the Iron are 3-0. I think this is the second best team in the AAF right now, really not too far from the Apollos. I think the Iron being at home and the Commanders just kind of struggling right now. I think Iron win this game 18-9. I've got the Iron moving on to 4-0, and it's very likely if the Apollos do lose, the Iron will take over the top position in the rankings. Pretty much for every expert out there, I'm sure, as well. And for our final game, the Legends and the Hotshots. These previews actually go by pretty quickly since there's only 4 games. Yeah, the Atlanta Legends are the 8th team in the league, also known as the worst one right now. They're 0-3. The Hotshots are 2-1. They suffered their first loss last week, and that was to Salt Lake, I do believe. That was a tough loss for them. They are now 2-1, and I mean, it's tough to tell. But I do believe that the Hotshots are going to win this game. 32-12. I think it'll be more of an easier one for this team. We've seen in the first 2 games very, very talented. They were ranked 2nd last week in my rankings. But yeah, the Hotshots, I do believe, are still a team that's going to really contend for a good spot in the playoffs and possibly be able to go deep. Don't overlook them just because they lost last week. I do believe that they bounce back and they win by quite a bit this week. And this game is going to be our last one of the week, Sunday, March 3rd. This will be on Sunday night, so something to look forward to there. That is it for the AAF game predictions in Week 4. We're going to be going over previews for each one of these 4 games. Stay tuned for those, and you can watch your favorite teams preview, as I'll be going more in depth on each one of these teams in each one of those previews. So yeah, once again, guys, thank you guys all for watching. Let me know your guys' thoughts on these games in the comments below. I'd like to hear what you guys all think. Stay tuned for more once again, and I will see you all later.